Chemistry plays an integral role in health and medicine. Pharmaceuticals are therapeutic substances that are intended to prevent, moderate, or cure illnesses. We'll review some that are legal drugs and some that are illegal and illicit drugs. Medicinal chemistry is the science that deals with the discovery and design of new pharmaceuticals, mostly the pharmaceutical industry, and we'll get into some of the very current drugs for COVID and treatment of COVID.
Chemistry plays a major role in both health and medicine. From the molecular structures of medicines to the mechanics of the body, to the new technology used to diagnose disease, chemistry is at the core of all of them. To start this chapter, we're going to begin with the story of Megan Scott, a healthy 20-year-old college student. During Megan's recent annual physical exam, her doctor noticed that the thyroid gland on the front of her neck seemed a bit enlarged. So she underwent several tests that indicated she had thyroid cancer. Soon after finding the cancer, Megan had her entire thyroid gland removed. Afterwards, she underwent radioactive iodine treatment, which killed off any remaining thyroid cells that were not removed during her surgery. Thanks to the surgery and radioactive iodine treatment, Megan was cancer-free. However, because of her treatment, she was given a new challenge. Since the thyroid is responsible for giving off thyroid hormones, which are needed for the human body to function, Megan could not live long without her thyroid. Therefore, Megan had to start using thyroid hormone replacement medicine, which would allow her body to carry out the functions of the thyroid gland. Thanks to the wonders of chemistry, Megan's cancer was able to be diagnosed, treated, and cured. This chapter will show you how all of us, just like Megan, benefit from chemistry's integral role in health and medicine each and every day.
Though most of us haven't had your thyroid removed or undergone radiation, most of us are affected every day by chemistry in something we take or as a form of legal drug. How many of you drink some form of caffeinated beverage every day? Because in the US, roughly 80% of us, including me, adults, have some daily caffeine in the form of coffee, tea, soda, Red Bull, Coke, etc. Or how many of you drink, sometimes, alcoholic beverages? 50 to 70% in the US drink alcohol, at least occasionally. Humans have been making alcohol for over 5,000 years. Humans have also been using herbal and plant medicines for over 5,000 years. So alcohol and caffeine are the number 1 and number 2 drugs used in the United States, and they're legal. But people have taken drugs to alter their perceptions throughout human history. And so human history is also marked with drug abuse on top of drug use, and it's all chemistry. For most of human evolution, people lived their lives searching for food most of the time, and if you got sick, you relied on natural remedies, like a medicine man bringing some herb to chew on, or a tea brewed from the bark of some tree. More recently, humans have learned to design drugs for medicines and other uses. So that's pharmaceuticals and medicinal chemistry. This is the father of Western medicine, Hippocrates. He considered tuberculosis to be the most deadly human disease. We've had some other diseases since then, including this COVID-19 now. But modern medicine treats tuberculosis with antibiotics. And so that's what chemistry does, is it has brought the possibility of fighting diseases, all types of diseases, all types of medications, and that's what chemistry can do for good. So all doctors, when they graduate from medical school, take what's called the Hippocratic Oath, which is a promise to practice medical care and do no harm. Hippocrates is perhaps the most famous doctor in history because of this Hippocratic Oath that every medical student takes upon graduation. Hippocrates earned his fame back in 4 BC. So more than 2,000 years ago when he lived, he found that taking the bark off of this tree, the white willow tree, you could brew it into a tea, and that tea could cure a fever. That was important because at this time, more than 2,000 years ago, humans regularly died of a fever, which meant you got your temperatures over 98.6, you died because it would spiral out of control. Now, if you have aspirin, it's as simple as taking a couple of pills and you bring your fever back down. Over time, scientists isolated the ingredient from the bark of that white willow tree, and this ingredient is called salicin. And so this, over even more years, was developed by the Bayer company into a drug that we now know of as aspirin. So this was one of the most reliable drugs used throughout the 20th century as a fever reducer, that's called an antipyretic, and also a pain reliever, and that's called an analgesic, and anti-inflammatory. It reduces inflammation in the body. So this is called the wonder drug because it does so many things. It was something that was in 4 BC able to stop deaths. And when you're the doctor that can stop everyone from dying of a simple problem, having a fever, well, that's going to lead to you being the most famous doctor in human history.